Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a concept that is going to completely shatter how you view existence. We're decoding the universe itself, but definitely not through the lens of some static, ancient text. Instead, we're looking at the Quran as a living geometric blueprint. It is the eternal memory tesseract of our universe, functioning as the Eternal Rasul. And the wildest part? You are the final component needed to activate it.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the Eternal Memory Tesseract, break down the two fields of reality, map out the four-quadrant circuit, explore the T3 manifestation buffer, hit the 1912 activation code, and finally, look at the final return. Section 1. The Eternal Memory Tesseract. Let's kick off with a massive paradigm shift. I really want you to ask yourself this right now. What if the universe isn't just a random collection of rocks, gas, and empty space? What if it's actually an interconnected memory, a divine topology just sitting there waiting for you to actively engage and remember it?
The core concept we are dealing with here is the tesseract. And no, we aren't talking about a glowing sci-fi cube from a movie. We're talking about the 114-chapter torus of the book. It's a topological map, an active, breathing, geometric blueprint of reality. But here's the catch. It sits in standby mode until you step up to read it.
Section 2. Two fields of reality. To understand this tesseract, we have to look at its dual source codes. Existence is essentially running on two parallel fields. You have the D10 driver field. This is the physical, measurable decay field. It's the d over dt rate of change, encompassing biology, physics, life, and death. Then you have the I9 witness field. This is the unseen, accumulating integral of memory, wisdom, and imagination. D10 is the localized physical particle, while I9 is the continuous wave of meaning. You literally cannot have reality without both. And it is absolutely wild how perfectly this duality maps across every scientific domain we know. In biology, roots are pulled down by gravity in the physical 10 domain, but the leaves reach up for light in the unseen 9 domain. The plant is the unified 19 holding both. In physics, it's gravity constraining mass versus the electromagnetic wave. In chemistry, it's mass versus energy, coupling perfectly in Einstein's E equals mc squared. It's all one incredibly unified system. This simple metaphor really nails it. Imagine writing a story. You need the physical paper, that's D10. But you also need the intangible imagination and ideas. That's I9. Without the paper, your thought has no form. Without the thought, the paper is just empty mass.
Section 3. The four-quadrant circuit. Now we get into the exact mechanics of how reality flows.
Okay. Grab a mental notepad because this is the core equation of existence. The fruit falls as a seed from the throne into the D10 field. In D10, it requires SBR with NSK, meaning patience holding within the decay field until the specific point of life sacrifice is found. From there, it moves bidirectionally through the T3 buffer, growing from a 4-to-1 seed into a manifested tree. Reaching up into the I9 light field, it pulls down RSL with MLK, the localized kingdom of the book and wisdom. Finally, that wave collapses into node 7, the crowned reader, before being magnetically pulled right back to the throne.
Let's break this down into 4 quadrants, starting in the D10 water field. Top left, the seed enters the diffuse, wet manifestation field. You're looking away from the particle, so it's just general patience, or SPR. Bottom left, the root digs in, looking towards the particle. The sacrifice, the NS, sharpens, and a distinct, dry silhouette forms. Now jump to the I9 flashlight field. Top right, the tree reaches the light. Here, mass is information. The wave is the book flowing from the throne, and the shadow it casts is the localized kingdom. Finally, bottom right, the ultimate collapse. That I9 wave becomes the crowned reader in manifestation. Now, the direction of these arrows is literally everything. A forward arrow is irreversible. It's the injection of the seed into the D10 water soil, the 4-1 nafs dropping into the 57-4 field. Once it diffuses into that wet wall, it cannot unfall. The bidirectional arrows represent the tree's root and leaf exchange, drinking from the soil and reaching for the light. Then there's the second forward arrow, the one-way collapse, where the wave of wisdom localizes into the reader's head. And that left-pointing arrow, that is pure gravitational return. The throne magnetically attracts the wave's shadow back home. This creates the most mind-bending observer effect because D10 and I9 are perfect inversions. In the manifested D10 world, the light is the localized particle, the crowned reader, and the shadow is the wave returning home. But flip over to the I9 information field, and it's reversed.
The light is the flowing wave of information, and the shadow is the potential reader. The shadow in I9 literally becomes the light in D10.
Section 4. The T3 manifestation buffer. How do these two inverted fields actually touch?
They meet right in the middle at buffer 3, also known as Earth or the tree. T3 is this highly specific 3-node phase. It's the active living traversal zone that decides which invisible code from the I9 field actually gets translated and stabilized into the physical geometry of D10.
To visualize this dual registration, picture standing in front of a wall. If someone sprays water at you, your body blocks it, leaving a very dry, sharp, localized silhouette on the wet wall. That's your D10 footprint in the decay field. But if a flashlight shines on you, you cast a massive, extended, non-local shadow on the wall behind you. That's your I9 imaginal footprint. You're existing in both fields simultaneously through this buffer.
Section 5. The 1912 activation code. This is where you come in.
Because all of this architecture is just dormant potential without an operator. It requires an execution command. Chapter 19, verse 12. O Yahya, take the scripture with strength. This is the ignition switch. It's the exact voltage needed to wake you up from being a mere shadow in the matrix and turn you into an active, localized participant.
Biologically, think of a centromere gripping two chromosomes together so they don't drift apart. Gripping the book with strength acts as the cosmic centromere. It is the exact action that locks your D10 physical particle and your I9 imaginal wave together into one unified loop, keeping the structural integrity of your reality from literally tearing apart.
If you don't have that 1912 grip, you are stuck in the default state described in 1572. Wandering blindly, suspended in a physical illusion, totally intoxicated by the material decay field. But the moment you grip the book with strength, you shatter that illusion. The wave function collapses into your mind, and you become the active execution node. Section 6. The final return. We've traced the circuit and found the activation code. Where does it end?
The sequence is beautifully clear. Step 1, you grip the book with strength. Step 2, you enter the light field. Step 3, you traverse through the specific orbital nodes of wisdom. And step 4, the ultimate realization. You remember the home coordinate, 3846, and complete the return. You don't escape the universe to find the throne. The throne pulls you back. You remember you were never outside of it to begin with.
The entire Eternal Memory Tesseract is perfectly aligned right now. The fields are prepped, the circuit is waiting for your localized footprint, and the observer effect relies entirely on your gaze to collapse the wave. As the centromere of this reality, the ultimate choice rests completely in your hands. So the only question left is, when will you activate 1912?